Hi, hello everyone. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through step by step of how to apply for a Canadian citizenship certificate or a proof of Canadian citizenship. Okay, and there are two ways of applying. The first one is by online services, and the second one is by paper. And online or on paper, it will depend on your situation. So please take a look at its own eligibility. Okay. So in the website of Immigration and Citizenship Canada, you can click on Citizenship, and then down here you can see Get Proof of Citizenship. And then down here too, you can see Apply for, Replace, or Update a Canadian Citizenship Certificate. Alright, and here that is a page that you can see about the process. The first one is the process, like what it is about, who can apply, how to apply, and after you apply. As you can see in here, the certificate is a document that proves that you are a Canadian citizen, and the fee is $75, and the processing time approximately 3 months. Okay, and then we can click on who can apply. You should apply if you want to pass down your Canadian citizenship to your child who was born outside of Canada, and provide a document that proves your citizenship, and make sure that you are a Canadian citizen. And then maybe if you want to replace a lost or destroy or stolen certificate, then you can apply for this one too. Or maybe you can update your certificates, such as when you get a legal name change. So if your name change, and then you can apply for this one to update your certificate with a new name as well. Okay. So let's assume that today we will work on the certificates for someone born outside of Canada. For example, if you got married to a foreigner and then that child was born outside of Canada, and then you can apply for certificates for your child to prove that she or he is Canadian citizen from you as a Canadian citizen born in Canada, or maybe naturalized in Canada. Okay, and then how to apply. As I said before, there are two methods, online or paper. For example, in this case, I would say I have to select what would you like to do for the online applications, and in here we have to select, for example, get a certificate for the first time, because that is the first time. And who are you applying for? I apply for my child under 18 years old, because the child was born outside of Canada. Okay, and is your child a permanent resident of Canada? Say no, because he was just born outside of Canada like a few months ago. And how many children are you applying for? You select your appropriate response, like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or more. To me, that's only one child for now. Where was your child born? Born outside of Canada. And when your child was born, was one of their parents a Canadian citizen? Like, yes, because I am a Canadian citizen before my child was born. Was the Canadian parents born in Canada? No, I was born outside of Canada. And the next question is, when did the parents become a Canadian citizen? That question is very important in selecting the online or the applications. Okay, so you will need to select correctly for your answer, so that they can generate the online or paper based for you. For example, before 2009. Okay, and then I continue, and then in here the message is you need to apply on paper, because if you still try to apply online, and then the application will be returned and they will ask you to apply on the paper. All right, but in here, let's say on or after 2009, and then we can see and then the next questions will be for you as follows. When the Canadian parents was born or adopted, was one of their parents, like your grandparents, like the child's grandparents, a Canadian citizen or crown servant? I say no. Okay, and then continue. See, in here you can see you can apply online. The apply online is very easy and convenient. let's take a look into this. That is the website, the IRCC online account that I got before with John Smith. If you follow me from the beginning of how to create an online account with the IRCC online secure account. Okay, and then down here, this. Okay, and then down here you can see start an applications, and then in this one you can see citizenship, apply for a search or proof of citizenship. You click in here, and then that is e-service. What would you like to do? The first one, of course, apply for or replace a citizenship certificate to prove Canadian citizenship. Okay, and for my child or my children, I have how many children? I have from 1 to 2 to 3. Why do you need to citizenship certificate? And answer of those. In my case, I select this one, the applicant. That is my son was born outside of Canada and never had a certificate. And the applicant, like it means my son's biological parents at birth was born in Canada or became a citizen before they were born. Like I was born outside of Canada, but I got citizenship already before my son was born outside of Canada. Okay. And then in here, which of the following best describe the parents of the applicant? And you select that one. Okay. Would grant citizenships before 2009, after April 17, 2009, or on that day grandparent parents born in Canada before that, or on or after that time. Okay, to me, I select that situations, and then they ask me more questions about if the Canadian parents of applicants who were born outside of Canada, like they are asking about the child's grandparents. Okay, so my answer is no. And they ask the questions of, are you able to make digital copy? Yes, of course. Able to pay fees online? Yes, the fee is $75. And then continue with that applications, and the e-service with the result, it comes up in here, the proof of citizenship, and then they have all those steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you continue, and then in here we start working on the applications. All right, that is the online, the proof of citizenship, and the paper applications we will work on that at the end of the sessions. Okay, but for now we do the online application first. The proof of citizenship, like the last name Smith, first name John, use other name no, and date of birth, I put my date of birth. I make it up, okay, so it's all not my real one. And save and continue. The parent information is the second parent information the same for all of the children. Say yes, and then it will come up as add the parent's name. Smith, my wife Laura. No other last name, no other names before, and the date of birth. Let's say 91, January 1st. Country of birth, Vietnam as well. Save and continue. And that is the child information, and add the child's name on that. And the child information, my son's Peter Smith, last name is Smith, Peter. Okay, and then ever use other name? No. And date of birth, let's say in 2020, January 1st as well. Country of birth, he was born outside of Canada. Gender, male. Relationship, I'm the parent. Save and continue. Okay, let's say in this case I have only one child, but for the second child, if you have, then just add the child's name in here. All right, and then we save and continue. The proof of citizenship, they ask for Peter Smith now. Peter Smith, that is the son. Okay, and here we have to fill out all of those things, the information, personal details, like continue with the form. This name Smith Peter, no. Personal description, he was born city of Hanoi, for example, the height, and in centimeter, like 100, like let's say he is 1 meter now. The color, eyes color, let's say black. And then next, birth record. The question here is, will you provide a birth certificate that was changed or replaced? So no, okay? So that is only the original records, but it will depend on your own situation. In my case, no, that is the original one. So I have no change and no replace at all. And then save and exit. So that is the personal details done. Next, that is the contact detail. The language or correspondence in English, email address, let's say abc123 Canada Vietnam @gmail.com. Next, the email, the phone number, like cell Canada, because I'm living in Canada now, like 519 987 6543, no extension. And then next, sort of address Canada. I prefer to type my address because that address is I make it up, okay, for the purpose of demonstrating for the video today. Street number 1234, street address, no name, avenue, Canada, Ontario, city Windsor, postal code NIC1B1. I make it up again, sorry, for whoever is living in that address. Since when? Since 2018 month January until now, I live in that address. The mailing address is the same with the current residential address, okay? And then save and exit. So I'm not done yet with the contact info in here. Telephone, cell, Canada, 519. Yep. Save and then next. Same. Okay, so we are done with the contact detail, and then the next one is citizenship details. Click on that, and then the question is Peter Smith, like my son, is citizen of one or more countries other than Canada? Say yes, and then let's say he was born in Vietnam, so he is a Vietnamese citizen. He was born in Vietnam and got his birth certificate, and it is the proof of Vietnamese citizenship. Okay, and then save and add in here, and then next, immigration history. Has Peter Smith ever lived in Canada? Say no or yes, it depends on you, but my son is always outside of Canada, so no. And then save and exit. That is complete the citizenship details. The next question is the parent, like John Smith, that is me, the dad. Of course, I'm not the dad. And start the form in here. Name Smith John, and then personal description, a relationship, that is biological parent, country Vietnam, and then Peter Smith parent married, yes, country of married, I got married in Vietnam, and the date of married, I got married in 2019, for example, in January 1st. Please provide citizenship certificate detail. Okay, I put down as I was granted citizenship certificate on January 1st, 2010, for example. Or you can explain or detail anything that fit your situations. Okay, and in here you have to provide the certificate number, like the citizenship certificate number, Canadian citizenship certificate of one of the parents. And at the time, Peter Smith born was John Smith, employed by government Canada? No. When the child was born, was the dad John Smith employed outside of Canada in or with Canadian Armed Forces? Blah blah blah. Say no. You have to read your the questions and answer yourself. Okay. Was one of John Smith's parents employed by a foreign government or international agency? No. And then I save and exit, and now it comes to the mother, Nora Smith. Okay, and the same questions with probably with the husband. Okay, personal description, that is a biological parent. And then next, and were Peter Smith parents married? Yes. And country of marriage, that is in Vietnam. And the date of marriage, oh man, I forgot, but probably in 2019. And then January 1st. Is or was Nora Smith a Canadian citizen? Say no, because she's outside of Canada. She's a foreigner and just came back to my country and then got married with her. At the time of Peter Smith's birth, was Laura Smith employed by in Canada or by foreign? No. When Peter Smith was born, was Laura employed outside of Canada in or with the Canadian Armed Forces? No. And was one of Laura Smith's parents employed by foreign government? No. And then save and exit. Okay, so we are done with the parents. So now the application's details, and then we can start the form here. Urgent processing, if urgent, and then you can click on the yes, or but in my case I just no. And citizenship certificate type, I would go with the electronic because I prefer by email, but whoever wants the paper applications, I mean paper certificate, and then you can click on the paper. Okay, but I prefer electronic because it's very convenient to me. Next, personal identity, 2 pieces of the child. Okay, if you are applying for children, provide their ID, not yours. Remember, here is not yours, so that is the child. Okay, the passport, I have the passport for him or for my son, for Peter. And then the second ID that I have, that is the school record. In here, I click in here. But if you have the Canadian health card, you can click on that. Or maybe if you have any other government issues ID in your country, then you select on these options. But in my country, I have the school records for my son, Peter Smith. Okay, so I have passport and I have my school records, so that is good enough. And then next, representative, I don't need the representative for my case, so I said no, and then save. And then here you can see Peter Smith with all the information in here. I complete, and then continue. So guys, here is a page that brings you to the document checklist for Peter Smith. The supporting documents, the optional documents, and the fees. Okay, so let's take a look at the supporting documents, which is a must that needs to submit to the IRCC. The first one is a proof of parentage, that is the birth certificate. If it is in your language, then you will need to translate it into English or French, and then you upload the file. The second one is a passport. You will need to make copy, the color copy of the passport of the child for Peter Smith. The digital photo, that is a citizenship size. The next one is a parent's citizenship at birth or adoptions. That is required as well. That is the photocopy of the citizenship certificate on the parents who is Canadian citizen before the child was born. Okay, and the primary identity document, that is the school transcript or school records or anything that proof for Peter Smith, you know, as an ID. So whenever you are not sure what it is about and you need to know more details about that, and then here with the question mark, you can click on that and then read more information of how to do and how to prepare that document. Okay, for example, the instructions in here with the question mark, the proof of parentage, for example, the birth records, let's say, and then provide, or if not, then provide an explanation letter, blah blah blah. You will need to spend more time on reading on this one. Okay, but in my case, I will provide the IRCC with the birth certificate. All right. The next one is, for example, the parents' citizenship at birth. Let's click in here. As you can see, upload a color digital or color scanned copy of proof that one or both parents of the applicant was a citizen at the time of their birth or adoptions. For example, the Canadian birth certificate or Canadian citizenship or naturalization certificate, something like that. Okay, so to prove that the parent is Canadian citizen so that they can give it to their child. Okay, and next, that is the optional document. You can see here the citizenship certificate. If you are not sure, then click on the instructions in here. That is any pink transmissions copies, exceptions of registrations, birth abroad certificate, blah blah blah. Okay, but that is optional only. So if you don't have, then no need to worry about that. The second one is the client's information. If you need the IRCC know more about your child, that the documents not submitted, and then you can provide in here. Okay, that you have not already provided, you can attach a letter of explanations to your applications. For example, if you cannot get the school records or school transcript for the child because he or she was very little, like 2 or 3 months, you cannot get that school transcript, and then you can explain to the IRCC that you cannot get that one, and the reason is this and that. Okay, and the next one is a supporting document. If I were you, I would say I would upload the marriage certificate, okay, for Peter Smith, that between their parents married, and the fee is $75. Okay, but let's upload all the file, and then we can see about that fee sections. It will comes up very soon now. So in the passport, when you upload the file, it will ask you about that question. Okay, and then all you need to do is typing that information. Identify, and then next, and then you upload, and the file as a passport. Here, upload the file and return to the document. Okay, done. And then this is the photo. Upload. Then ship. Upload. Return. Okay, and this one, school record, return. Okay, of those things. And then this one, this I don't have, then I leave it. Cancel that. And then client's information, I don't have it. and then in here I put the file. I got marriage certificate. I upload the file, return, and here you can see all of those info. I put it up here already, whatever I have, and then after that you can click on the next. Okay, declarations and electronic signature. Okay, you read all of those and then you agree, and then you put your name in here as John Smith. Okay, I would say we put it in the capital, black, and then I sign. After I sign, and then I transmit and pay. Okay, here we go. Here is the summaries of fees. That is $75. You click on transmit and pay. So in here, in the card holder's name, you can put your name in here, your card number, the month, and the security questions number in here, and then you check out. And after the checkout, and then it will submit the applications. All right, so that is done with the online applications. So now we will go back to the paper applications. It's kind of the same like the online. So here is a page for apply on the paper. So the first step is get the application package, and the second step is pay the application fee, and the third one is submit the applications. In here, get the application package. You click in here, get the package, and then applying on the paper. In here, you can see the instruction guide, the document checklist, and the form and the photo specification. And let's click on the document checklist first. Okay, I can zoom it out so that we can see it for a better view. So document checklist, in here you need to have the form. You checklist the form, and then the citizenship photograph. Okay, and then you can see in here 2 and digital color copy, and 2, and then the identity document, that is 2 of that. That is color copy. For example, the that is for the child. Okay, the passport, or maybe the transcript from the school in back home country. If you don't have, then explain in a letter of explanation. Okay, and then application fees, you can pay online, and whoever doesn't know how to create an online account, then please watch on my video on IRCC online payment. Okay, and then you got the receipt, and then send it along with the application in here. And then down here, if you use the representative, then you have to download this form and then sign it. And then the statutory declarations, that is a request for a change of sex or gender form. If it doesn't apply to you, then just forget about that. And the proof of legal change name, forget about that if you don't change your name. Okay, so that one is optional only. And then the require additional document, identify the scenario below that best describe your situations and provide the supporting document. You will need to read all those things and then submit it with your applications. Okay, so for now, all you need to we need to do is going to that certificate, the form CIT 0001, and complete the form. Okay, and we have that form here already, and then we can click on that and then work on the applications. Okay, so in here, that is a form CIT 001. Okay, that is the updated one, and then we can click on those requests. The first one, I need to replace your my citizenship certificate. No, because the scenario is I apply for my son who was born outside of Canada, and I am Canadian citizen before my son was born. So in here, I want to pass down my citizenship Canadian citizenship to my child born outside of Canada, and I was born in Canada or naturalized in Canada before my child was born. I didn't adopt my child, so that is the option for you. Okay, however, you will need to read all of those and then to see which one applies to your situations, and then you can do the form. All right. um, and then this one, the instruction below apply to your child or minors as the applicants if you are filling out the form on their behalf. Okay, so in here the language, that is English, and number two, the unique number, the user number. If you don't have, you just put NA, not applicable. And the reason for applications, are you applying to replace your citizenship certificate? Say no, because that is my first one for my son. Okay, and then after that, and then it will go to number 4. You want to be sent with by paper or electronic. It depends on you, but I would say I prefer the electronic because I can check it at any time in anywhere. Okay, number 5, tell us about yourself or the minor that you are applying for. So this number 5 is all about your child, not you. Okay. Number 6, are you requesting to change the personal detail you have provided above? If yes, that's no. In my case, I select on the no. Number 7, detail about your birth certificate. That is for the child. Okay, so everything in here, number 7 is for the child. And number 8, tell us about your parents. So that is the child's parent, like the mom and the dad or the mom, whoever. That you want to put it first. Okay, and then number A in here, it is biological parent or legal parent at birth, and then you can click on those little box in here. Okay, and number B, the parent citizenship status, that is Canadian citizens or not Canadian citizen. And please make sure that one of the parents need to be Canadian citizen so that the child can be Canadian citizen. Okay, and then B, continue citizenship status in here. And that questions is, was parents one born in Canada before January 1st, 1947, or in Newfoundland and Labrador before that year. Okay, so most of the time, no. And number C, that is foreign government employment. If you were born in Canada and then was parents one employed in Canada by a foreign government or international agency at the time of your birth, most of the time no, because we are applying for citizenship for the child. Tell us about your parents, the crown service. Tell us about your grandparents, and then so again, that is they are checking about the grandparents. Okay, you put all those grandparents informations in here. Number 1 in the column number, on the left, and then the column on the right. And number 10 is additional citizenship informations. They ask you, have you, like, it's not you, they ask your child, have you ever lived in Canada? So the answer is no or yes. It depends on your situations. And if yes, then what date did you first enter Canada to live? Because for example, some people will some children born outside of Canada, and then they got a visa come to Canada, and then starting from that date they live in Canada, and then after that the mom or the dad apply for citizenship certificate for the child. Okay, so in that case you select on the yes, but if you are applying for the child who's still living outside of Canada, then no. And then if no, skip to questions number 11. Were you born before 77? Say no. Okay, so you have to answer the questions very carefully. Born before 1950, And the contact informations, how can we contact you about your applications? You can put the last name, first name, email, home address, okay, and then the telephone number in here, and the representative. If someone helping you filling out this form, yes or no is up to you, but most of the time say no if you can conduct the business with the IRCC, with the Immigration Canada. So number 15, that is the declarations, permissions, and signatures. You will need to check all of those. Agree to advise IRCC if any information on this form changes before the processing of the application is complete. And I understand that the content of this form, I declare that the information provided is true, correct, and complete. And I declare the photographs enclosed are a true likeness of me. And I understand that if someone on my behalf make a false representations, commit fraud, blah, 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 and declare that I'm not using this form to apply for a grant of Canadian citizenship for a person adopted outside of Canada by a Canadian citizen, blah, blah, blah. And then you will need to sign in here as a parent in this little box. It's not little, in this box, okay? And if the applicant signature in here, if it's under the 14 years of age, then the signature of the parents down here. But it is above 14 years of age, then that person need to that child need to sign here. But in my case, I will sign the in this section, okay? And then the city that I'm at in here, and then date in here, okay? So whenever I check in here declaration, I have to check mark it all, and then I sign the city. Then that's it. That is all the forms. And down here for the following pages, that are the instructions, and you need to follow up with those applications to make sure that everything is filled in and completed. And this form doesn't have a validate code, so all you need to do is print the form in here, and then after that you can combine with the document checklist in here, and then you can send out the application. Okay, you check mark this, and the fee, of course you need to pay the fees before you send out the application package. Okay, and that if you use the representative, and then you use, if not, just forget about that. And the required additional document, you have to read all of those, and then because that is required, that is a must, you need to compare with your situation, your scenario, to check with the applications and the document to be provided to the IRCC. Okay, in this case, this is applied to you. I don't know, paper applications only, that is for both online or paper, and this one for paper if you born outside in Canada, so it's not my case. Number 3, that is online applications, EU citizenship, blah blah. Okay, it doesn't apply to me, but however, like you will need to read all of those documents, and then after that select the one that apply to your situations. All right, so now let me summarize the document that you will need to submit along with the applications, okay, for the paper application. For the applications on the paper, the first, you will need to provide with the document checklist, and you need to check off the documents that you provide the IRCC. Okay, the second one is a form need to be completed and signed, and date, and the city and the province that you complete the application and sign the application. Number 3, that is 2 citizenship photos for the child. Number 4, child passport and other identity, for example, the school record or the hospital registrations with the name of the child on that paper. Number 5, that is the child's birth certificate that has your name, the parent's name on that, and one of the parents need to be Canadian citizen. Number 6, that is a parent's Canadian citizenship proof. The proof of citizenship, it needs to have that proof, because if you are not Canadian citizen, then you cannot pass the citizenship to your child, right? Number 7, that is an explanation letter for the child's profile if needed. So it's not mandatory, that is optional only. Okay. Number 8, that is a parent's marriage certificate if available, and if you have, then you can provide that marriage certificate as well. Number 9, that is a receipt of $75, and you will need to pay online with the IRCC fee payment, and then you generate the receipt and then print it out and include it in the application. Okay, and here is the address that you can send it to the IRCC, the proof. The first one is by regular mail, that is a case processing center in Sydney, the proofs department, the division. The PO Box 10,000 in Sydney, Nova Scotia. And the second one is courier, also at the Nova Scotia in New Waterford. Okay, so that is the 2 addresses that you can send it out. And that's it for today. And I hope that whoever apply for citizenship certificate or proof of citizenship for your child will get it very soon. And if you have any other questions, please leave a comment, and I will try to explain as much as I can to my best knowledge. Okay, and good luck everyone, and see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.